Hello, everyone. Hello. Sorry. Let me get to these comments. I apologize to anyone just coming in. It is July 23rd. It's July 23rd. I just got up. I have not been feeling very well today after I took my son to work. I come in and was not feeling well at all. Hey, Mamaw, good to see you. Y'all come on in and hit the thumbs up. We're just going to go back over, and then I just woke up is what I was trying to say, and I got this email, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I just went over this. This is the one out of Bibb County. I'm like, 4 was arrested, and I was reading it, and then I'm like, holy smokes, 7. So evidently they've arrested 3 more people. I have not got I opened it up and I looked at it, and it's evidently a press conference. Y'all might even know this before I do. I don't know who's been arrested or what. Thank you, honey. I'm just really sick as a dog. I don't know what's going on. Hello, Michelle. So I'm just I just text a couple of my mods. There's Janice. Hey, Janice. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if y'all heard. So I know there's 7 people arrested now. That's all I know. I opened it up. It's a press conference. This was sent to me. Thank you, Betsy. I've been sleeping most of all day. I did stop and get me something to eat and was sick as a dog. That didn't help. So anyway, I'm going to play this. I don't know what they're saying or who else was arrested. I just know it was a press conference. I stopped it and got on here and immediately am coming live. So I'm going to go over this with you. I think this press conference, it looks like it lasts about 30 minutes. I'm going to put it on mute and we're just going to go over it. If you don't mind, anybody that comes in, just explain to them what's going on or whatever. And we'll go from there. I apologize. I do apologize. I am so disorganized right now. I promise you I haven't been up. I got me a cup of coffee and I have not been up probably 20 minutes. So I love y'all. Just let's go over this and see what's happening. Hopefully some of these parents have been arrested. But let's go over it. Some more people. Evidently it's 7 people now. Trigger warnings. This is the one out of Bibb County I went over this morning. Thank you for sending this to me and alerting me to it. And I apologize it wasn't sooner. Again, I didn't realize what was going on. All right, hold on just a minute. I got it geared up here. I just got to turn the volume up.
The first suspect is William Chase McElroy. The victim's ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old. His charges are 4 counts of rape first, 6 counts of sodomy first, 6 counts of human trafficking, 4 counts of kidnapping first. And we have mugshots available for you that we'll provide you after the conference. The second arrest is of Dalton Terrell. His charges are rape first, 5 counts, sodomy first, 7 counts, human trafficking, 6 counts, kidnapping first, 4 counts. The third arrest is Andres Velasquez Trejo. His charges are 6 counts of human trafficking. Those victims ranging in age from 3 to 15 years old. Next is Timothy Dale St. John Jr. His charges are 2 counts of rape first, 4 counts of sodomy first.
I think that 15-year-old was new.
3 counts of kidnapping first, 1 count of bestiality, 1 count of aggravated cruelty to animals. In addition to the animals, the victims ranged in age from 3 to 10 years old. Next is Rebecca Brewer. Her charges are 8 counts of human trafficking, 8 counts of kidnapping first, 3 counts of sexual torture. Next arrest is Ricky Terrell. His charge right now is 1 count of rape first. We anticipate more charges on these other ones as they have just been arrested last night and have not been to grand jury yet. The final arrest made, Sarah Louise Terrell. Her counts thus far: 1 count of sexual torture and 2 counts of sexual abuse of a child less than 12 years old. There's a lot of people to thank in this investigation. In addition, we'd like to thank our DA's office, the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, the Central Alabama Child Advocacy Center that helps with interviewing the small victims in this case, the Alabama Fusion Center that helps us get all this information together and get us a timeline going and help organize everything, Bibb County Department of Human Resources, they've been invaluable, the Department of Homeland Security, as we're looking into possible gang affiliations with one of the suspects that's been arrested, known ties to a gang that's known their main source of income is child sex trafficking. And our 911 dispatchers, they do a tremendous job, and they do so much for us other than just answer the radio and tell us where to go. Right now, the children, the victims that we have identified, have been removed safely when this immediately was made aware, and they are in the Department of Human Resources in their custody, and they are safe and being cared for and speaking with counselors to help them get through this horrible thing that's happened to them. It's still an ongoing investigation, and we anticipate more arrests and, unfortunately, more victims. That's the information that I can share with you now, but I'd be glad to take a couple of questions if I could answer them. Yes, ma'am?
How are all these people connected? I know there are some with the same last name, but I think some even with different last names, their in-laws and that kind of thing. Can you kind of lay that out for us?
Correct. And for the privacy of the children, I'll just suffice it to say that yes, some of the victims, the offenders, were parents and relatives and things like that, which you can draw from the last names being the same as the offenders and victims. So,
what about all the suspects? Are there any connections there? We got Sarah and Ricky Terrell along with Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one family or?
Some of these people are acquaintances. Some of them are family, and some of them are just people that they were able.
Hey, not crazy, and everybody coming in. That wasn't me. That's them. They'll come back.
Get to this point, where were the parents?
Correct. Well, a lot of the relatives being involved, so they're not going to come forward. But as far as this, there was the Department of Human Resources. There was child abuse going on there, and that they contacted us to open the investigation. Immediately, victims removed and arrests began being made.
And would they take the children to the bunker, or were the children staying in the bunker?
It depends on the point in time the offenders had. Sometimes the children would be there, tied to a pole that was there, bound to a bed that was there, or in a chair that was there. Sometimes people that would come by.
Or was it different?
I understand that sometimes they could make up to $1,000 a night.
The DA says that there's maybe up to 12 more men involved.
Oh
Is
my
there any way to
God.
track those men, or do you have any leads on it? And what about those who purchased the images from the last perpetrator?
That is still something that these guys are working on. They were out till midnight last night and have been since this investigation started. So yeah, I was waiting until a time such as this when we had the known victims safe and the for sure known suspects in custody before we wanted to give out a lot of information on this case. But it is still ongoing. And like I said earlier, unfortunately, I'm afraid there's going to be more victims and many more suspects. And these guys are diligent and they're going to run down everybody they can.
besides the victims whose parents were involved that you mentioned, those who maybe didn't have parents involved, are there any knowledge of their, were they knowledgeable of this going on, and could any criminal charges be brought against them?
That is something that will be part of the ongoing investigation. I do not think that anybody that was not involved in this directly was aware that it was going on.
How many additional victims do you anticipate? If you had 10 already, how many additional do you anticipate?
There's no telling.
As
Oh,
I'm sure many of
no.
your investigators are parents, aunts, uncles, how has it been for you all on kind of peeling this back layer by layer and seeing all this? It seems like it's bad, and it goes from worse to worse to worse to worse.
Absolutely. It's horrible as a parent when you sit there and you look at your child. I mean, I have a 30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 9-month-old. And I just look at that little girl, and I'm thinking, how could you? I mean, absolutely horrible. These men have children that they have to go can get off from a have to thank God that they have good parents like these men.
And were drugs involved?
No, ma'am. I think it may have been something, not necessarily a narcotic, more something like to make them a little bit more drowsy and a little bit more compliant for the ones that were physically able to somewhat try to fight back and protect themselves. But no, and I know that there was another investigation that was that it kind of crossed over a little bit involving drugs at that residence, and then we kind of had to say, all right, let's wait a minute on that. We've got more important things that we have to address right now.
And who was getting the money that they would pay, who the money went to?
Is that anything I need to? Justin?
I would say yes. Information on what they were charged with, currency or any money involved.
Yeah, correct. One of the charges that I read out earlier on Trejo, all his accounts were child sex trafficking. So you can draw what you want from
He's
this.
not accused of any.
All the charges that he's facing right now, which those are incredibly serious charges.
Right.
But as of right now, as I say, it is an investigation. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that's going to come out, unfortunately.
Without divulging too much, can you talk about how the bestiality charge and the fourth man arrested plays into this? I mean, was it part of this, or was it just kind of a charge that was tacked on in a separate incident?
That was something that was discovered during the investigation of the children by witnesses, suspects that were cooperating, giving additional information. So that's how that information come forward.
How were the suspects able to advertise, if you will? How were they able to garner so many children to lure them?
Unfortunately, animals like this have their own network. They've got people that they can call. They've got ads they can take out, be it on any kind of social media platform or something like that. So it is somewhat of an underground thing, but it is well known. Not all the offenders were necessarily familiar with the people that they were purchasing the kids from.
And the house where the bunker is, I know there's an elderly woman, I think one of the men's grandmother who lives there.
Mhm.
Is there any reason to think any of the people who live near there knew what was happening?
Well, I think too, and we were talking about that there was also an ongoing drug investigation that we had to put a little bit of a hold on until we could rescue these children. I think that when you've got that amount of traffic going in and out, it's not when the area where it's located, you can pretty much get to the bunker without a lot of people seeing it. And then, at night, it'd be easy to go in there undetected. So I think with a kind of a relatively heavy traffic area like that, it wouldn't be unusual to see a lot of vehicles and people going in and out of the house. But that's when it's good for people, if they do see activity that's suspicious like that, to please make us aware, because a lot of time when there's something
I don't think that was the
Do you
question.
plan to bring charges under the new Alabama Criminal Enterprise Act?
that's something we're still looking to, working with the district attorney's office. And, we have other agencies that are coming in here to assist us. So the main thing we did was get the charges that we could immediately to get these people in custody and get them off the street, I anticipate more charges coming.
Sheriff, is there evidence, I think you spoke to it, that this is linked to a larger criminal conspiracy or organization? And are there other agencies, federal, involved in your investigation?
Well, we've got Homeland Security investigations that's helping us and to track a little bit more information on the one that has the ties to the is it the Serrano gang. And like I say, I think their main source of income is trafficking.
Okay.
So yeah, we are getting assistance from federal agencies to help us on that end, because wherever this guy come from, we don't know what he left in his trail.
This may be out of your purview, but when this is over with, will you have any sort of jurisdiction to get rid of the bunker just for psychological purposes?
That is something that I haven't even thought of at that point. I'm glad you brought that up. So we will see what can or should be done about that. If I had my way about it, we'd blow it up, but that's something that I
Amen.
can't really answer.
Can you describe what the bunker was like? I know we've seen pictures of the outside by now. Like, and about how large it was.
Well, it was pretty good sized where you could actually live in there comfortably. I mean, there was a toilet in there. There was a mattress they were using as a bed in there, room for some chairs, partially underground to where you walk around back and you can see it, but it's going into kind of like a hillside. And then on the top of it, like I say, it was like a pad for the roof and then a carport put over. So when you pull up and look at it, it just looks like a carport on a concrete slab.
The Hispanic suspect,
What kind of protective visa he had. Now that's something that they're running down and helping us to determine.
Going back to the bunker, just to clarify, I read reports of it being a basement that was converted into a storm shelter, but you're saying there was a carport above it. Was there any type of residence around that, or was it truly just a bunker in the ground?
Well, it was right there by the residence, so it was adjacent, but you couldn't access it from the residence like directly. You had to go and come in the back of it.
And it was, just for clarification, this was built as a storm shelter and was used for this purpose. This was not built for this purpose.
No, ma'am, and that was one of my first questions. But no, I do believe it was built for a good thing and used for a horrible thing.
where are the mothers of these children? Could she be implicated as well?
The ones that aren't in jail, we're still working on that. Yeah.
It sounds like, Sheriff, based on what you shared with us today, this could be just the beginning of something much larger that he sort of mentioned earlier. Do you anticipate that this is only tip of the iceberg, so to speak?
Yes. Yes, it is an ongoing investigation. And I know it's been frustrating for a lot of people in the media that we haven't given out a lot of information or come forward with a lot of information, but with the hours that's been put in and the urgency of getting these people before they fled, trying to turn them and not giving it a lot of attention so that they would scatter like rats. Now we're to the point where now we've got to uncover the possibility of more suspects and more victims, but we've got the ones that are confirmed in custody and charged right now. So,
Is there any adults, we had heard earlier that the parent of one of the children had claimed that they were being trafficked as well. Is that a possibility? Have you looked into that? Or are we talking about only children?
I believe that the oldest child was 15. Ask me that question again. I apologize.
Any allegations or belief that any of these moms of the children might have been trafficked as well?
Yeah, that's not something I'm aware of. Chris or Justin may be able to answer that question. I'm not aware that the mothers were trafficked.
Okay.
Just to clarify, the two women charged are the mothers of these children, or some of these children.
Yes.
How many?
I'd rather not say right now, like I say, because of the children are, students at our schools here in Bibb County, and they've been through enough. And I just want to say as little as I can just to protect what little bit of privacy that they got.
As a sheriff here and as a father, like you said, can you speak to just the severity of this case? And has there ever been anything you've experienced like this in your time working here?
I've been in law enforcement for 33 years, and this is absolutely the most horrible thing I've ever seen when it comes to victimization of children. And like I say, I know God's forgiveness is boundless. And I know there's a verse that comes to me, and it's in Matthew, I think it's 18:10. It says, don't offend one of these least of mine, for their angels behold the face of my Father at all times.
And you said that people were traveling here to Bibb County, outside of Bibb County, for the acts were happening in this concert.
A lot of the people that we have in custody right now are more local, but as investigation goes on, hopefully we'll be able to determine if there were people traveling from out of county, out of state, or wherever to come victimize these children. So that's not something I can answer right now, but it's something that these guys are diligently working on.
Do you have a message for, you said, you're expecting possible victims to come forward too. Do you have any message for those victims or the families of the victims to encourage them to come forward?
I would say no child deserves this. That's the most horrible thing you can do. The power and control of it, the stealing the innocence of a child, and the horrible victimization that they went through with these monsters. I would say it's like the old saying, if you see something, say something. If you do think or suspect that there are children being victimized, contact us or your local law enforcement and make them aware. If it's nothing to it, we'll be glad to say it's not. But if there's something to it, God help us to protect these children.
Can you tell us about how long you think this enterprise was happening, from when to when?
The best we can determine at this point is it probably started somewhere around in 2022.
So you're talking about these children were victimized
Holy
over and over and over.
crap.
Yeah, and with the age range of the children, from 3 to 10, some of them come in as they got old enough to be desirable to a pedophile, I guess. And then some of them, their victimization started out when they were younger, and then they reach the age of 10.
And I know you said that most of these children, like the mothers, have been arrested also, but were any of these missing children anywhere that you know of?
That's not anything that I'm aware of, that they were missing, reported missing, or had been abducted or anything like that. I think the kidnapping charges would come from moving a child from one place to another, although the person that was supposed to be their caretaker knew where they were going. But just for you to move that child for a felony purpose from one place to another, that would reach the level of kidnapping.
Sheriff, Sarah Terrell, Dalton Terrell, and Ricky Terrell, are they related, and if so, how?
Yeah, they're related. I'm not sure exactly how they're related. Brothers, sisters, aunts, I don't know.
What about the children? You've been in your business, you said, a long time. What's in store for them? I know they've been taken away, they're in a safe place, but in terms of counseling, what is their immediate future going to look like?
Well, and they've already been in contact with counselors, and they're getting the help they need, the medical help they need, the emotional and psychological help that we can best provide them. That for the younger kids, I'm hoping this is a blurry memory, because some of the statements of the children, they were unable to remember certain things, and then things would come to mind. And some of the older children, they'll carry this vividly for the rest of their lives. So all we can do is the best we can by them to help them get past this. You can't heal from this, but you can move on as best you can. Life that
They were
yes.
Are there any, adults other than their parents or so-called caretakers that maybe fail these children, school officials, anything like that, and could they be criminally liable to this?
Not that I'm aware of, because normally, and with our school system, if something's going on or something looks out of place, they call us immediately, because we have a very good working relationship with them, as we do DHR. It's a small county. They'll call my cell phone and say, hey, Jody, this little girl's missed 3 days of school, and she's had some bruises when she comes in. And then we'll sick the dogs on them then. But we work very well with them. I'm not sure there was any indication. And as in any case like this, sometimes the victims, they're afraid they're going to get in trouble. Their victimizers have control over them. They are their caretakers, and they still some care about their parents.
But no report has come from the school official or anybody else about this.
I do not think that there was anything I think that there was anything wrong.
And I'm sorry about the video. It just keeps going in and out. But that just goes to show you, Carmen, excuse me, I apologize. That just goes to show you, with all this horrific stuff that's going on here, how they, if they had any integrity at all in Sumner County about Sebastian's case, that they could come out and do a press conference, keep transparency, and do the things without jeopardizing his case. They're not trying. They're full of bullshit. They're full of baloney. And Seth has every right to be mad. And so should Katie. But she don't give a damn. And I don't care who likes it. You know, this is crazy right here. This is mind-blowing. This should be a lesson right here of all the things that's going on with all of these kids, all of these traffickers, all of these sick things that's just happened and that's happening, that's ongoing. He was just asked, but I don't know who all came in, where the money was going to and what the money was going for. He even answered that question. He did look at both of those cops and asked, was there any reason why he shouldn't? But he even answered that question. It broke out. But one of the, listen, Sumner County, you're full of shit, people. And your day will come. Your day will come just like Millersville. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. And you know, who's up there yelling? Everybody has I forget what the hell it's called, because I can't think. I'm sick as a dog right now, but I'm still showing up. And this is literally making me sicker. I feel like going in there and throwing up right now, where internal affairs, well, unfortunately, Sumner County has their own damn internal affairs. But TBI, get your shit together and investigate Sumner County, in my opinion. Let this be a lesson right here. Let it be a lesson. They're not going to screw up nothing by being transparent. I'm sorry. You know, it's coming. It's coming. But as far as this goes, let me get back to this. The 15-year-old is new from this morning, what I saw. The gang related is new from what I saw this morning. And the 3 other people's arrest is new from what I saw this morning. More to come is new from what we saw this morning and reported on. And more victims to come. Y'all sit with that. My God.
They would certainly have contacted us immediately, I can promise you.
What about you guys? Counseling made available to these gentlemen, or perhaps even you?
If they had time, they would probably get some. They have been wide open. I guarantee you, they've seen these poor children more than they've seen their own. They were calling me last night after we met for a couple hours yesterday. They were calling me last night at midnight, giving me updates on what was going on and talking about their concerns. And you know, we met at my house so we could just kind of sit and talk, and then give me some more updates on the case in preparation for this conference. And then, of course, we had a lot of personal talks. And it's hard to sit there and talk to your chief investigator while he's holding your 9-month-old about something horrible that happened to another little child that doesn't have as good as ours do.
Can we hear from either one of them? they're okay with it? Are you okay with them just telling us how it's been for them through these months of investigation?
That is absolutely up to Justin and Chris. Chris?
My only request is, could you step to the
Yeah.
podium?
Absolutely.
Just give us your name again real quick in case anybody missed it before.
I'm Christopher Poole.
How long have you been with the sheriff's department?
I started the sheriff's office in 2017.
So just, what's this been like for you?
It's been heartbreaking. It's been heartbreaking. It's very sad. We don't want to see any children ever have to go through this. As Sheriff said, we all have children of our own. God puts us at the place that we at that time, and we're going to help you find it. We're going to help you find it, and we're going to put everybody who has done any wrong to any child in this county away. Our sheriff is very supportive of that. When we notified him immediately of this, he immediately intend on doing.
How do you put this out the door when you go home and not take it home to your own kids and your wife?
Is a strong thing that you got to keep through this.
Chris, at what point during the investigation, it's going to be a lot bigger than what we thought. Was it day one back in February? At what point did you realize this was?
Yeah, so in February, we knew any child abuse is serious to us. We noticed that it started getting bigger the second arrest that we made. Once we was interviewing Dalton Terrell, he ended up giving us a lot of information, and we started investigating a lot more.
Have all of the suspects confessed?
Multiple ones of the suspects have confessed. There is a couple that is not.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Just say your name for us real quick.
Yeah, these
name's
are the
Justin
good
Hobbs.
cops. These are the good ones.
I've been with the sheriff's office about a year now.
Just tell us what this has been like.
Words.
Yep, not crazy. Yep.
It's hard to describe.
I mean, the sheriff has said this is the worst case, again, I've ever seen it. He's been doing it a lot longer than you, so this could be the worst thing you've ever seen. You've only been here a year.
I would agree with that.
Are you able to share with us any expressions from the children once they realize they've been rescued?
I would prefer not to, just to protect the innocent children. And
How do you not take this home? How do you leave it at work when work seems to last a long time anyway?
I would say 6 years in the Army taught me very well to leave it at the house and try not to take it home.
As somebody that lives in this community, and you know, like she said, you've only been doing this for a year now, what kind of sentiment do you have to say to people outside this county to know that this is everybody here? You know, this is such a dark and twisted thing, but it's not all county, correct?
That's correct. This is a beautiful county. It's filled with a lot of natural peace. We have things, Cahaba Lily, which is the shoal lily that you see on the Cahaba. I've met people from Indiana, Wisconsin, Maine that have come here for college trips to see those things and the beauty that's here, and the people here are great.
Justin, are you able to address whether you'll have to make special arrangements in confinement or any of the suspects on suicide?
I don't think that's something I'll be able to answer. Not this time. I wouldn't know that information.
Are you able to clarify? Dalton Dalton Terrell is related to Rich Terrell, Sarah Terrell?
I think refer to how the sheriff answered the question. Thank you.
Finish with sheriff, or do you feel like you got everything in there you needed to?
I think that about covers it, unless y'all have any other questions. I mean, the guys have done a great job. I'm very proud of them. They're doing very good, very capable. And unfortunately, the only credit I can take in this case is hiring the right men to do the job.
But you don't have to speak it, Mike, but based on what you know at this point, do you anticipate another round of arrests before Friday, like another multiple arrests? Or is it going to sort of trickle down, if you will, at this point?
No, this
I
is
think we've gotten to
Alabama.
a point where we've
Alabama.
got the
Bibb County, Alabama.
absolute 100% known suspects in custody, and now it goes into a little bit more lengthy, in-depth, trying to discover if there are other offenders. I know they've got leads on some people, and I would encourage them to come forward before we come find you.
You're welcome, honey.
Ages from 3 to 10, so far about 15, right?
15 kids, is that what you're saying?
15 children.
No, age range.
Oh.
The-
10 children,
yes, total number of children, 10, yes.
Gotcha.
and the age range is 3 to, what's the max there?
A lot of them are 3 to 10, and then we've got a 15-year-old. And of course, when you reach that age, you've been abused for some time up until that point. So we're just kind of giving a vague age range of the known victims at their age now,
Okay.
But the total is 10 children.
right now.
Yeah.
Are all 10 of those children females or are they males and females?
Males and females. That was a good question. I forgot to address that. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Oh, can we get those bucks?
Yes. Would you want to take pictures of them or email them to me?
I actually, I'll just take the 3 emails, that's all.
Hey, I'm gonna make everybody know.
Yeah, is it, if it's different, is it updated? Can you just email it to me, please? 3 to 10. Yeah. 3 to 10, and then 1 15-year-old. It's a couple of counties over from you, Michelle. Oh my God. Let me get this down. Yeah, it's horrible. It is, because like I said, when I got back earlier, I just was deathly sick. I just hit the bed and I woke up and I saw this and I was like, no, I reported on this earlier. And then I was reading the headline again and I was like, 7 people. And I'm like, no, it was 4 earlier. So I opened it up and it was this press conference and I just stopped everything and come live so y'all could see this. And I was seeing this just like y'all. I do apologize they had the glitches and stuff because, you know, we need to keep up with this and everything. So I appreciate it being sent to me. And we did learn some new things. Okay, let's see. Did it come to me? Hold on just a minute. Hold on. All right, hold on. I don't think I can get it. Hold on just a minute. Shut up. Hold, please. I'm sorry.
Enforcement for 33 years, and this is absolutely the most horrible thing I've ever seen when it comes to victimization of children.
The sheriff of Bibb County releasing new shocking details in a case that's best described as a child sex trafficking rape.
And WVTM 13's Lisa Crane, she's been following this story for us. She's live and local at the sheriff's office right now. So Lisa, what did you learn today?
Well, the most tragic news coming from that press conference today is that they have identified 10 victims, boys and girls, as old as 15 and as young as 3 years old. And they believe there are more of those victims out there. Now, we want to warn you, the details in this case are very disturbing. And some of the images we're going to show you may also be upsetting. But today, Sheriff Jody Wade actually released the picture of the inside of the bunker where they say the atrocities took place for as long as 2 years this was going on. Authorities say the child victims were tied to that bed and that chair, as well as a pole in that bunker. Then people paid money to violate them. Now you can see the outside of the building. It was built as a storm shelter, but used as a den of horrors for these children. Take a look at the now 7 people who have been arrested in this case. It appears the first person you see there, Andres Trejo, was running the operation. He's charged with multiple counts of human trafficking. The other 6 people, Chase McElroy, Dalton Terrell, Timothy St. John, Rebecca Brewer, Ricky Terrell, and Sarah Terrell are facing charges from rape, sodomy, sexual torture, to human trafficking, kidnapping, even bestiality. The sheriff today spoke with how the alleged perpetrators found the victims.
Unfortunately, animals like this, they do have their own network. They've got people that they can call. They've got ads they can take out, be it on any kind of social media platform or something like that. So it is somewhat of an underground thing, but it is well known. Not all the offenders were necessarily familiar with the people that they were purchasing the kids from.
Now, the sheriff says there are many victims of our children of the accused. The victims, many of them anyway, are children of the accused. Not only does the sheriff believe that there are more victims out there, but he also believes they're going to be making more arrests in this case. There may be more perpetrators as well. Coming up at 5, we're going to hear from the sheriff on why the Department of Homeland Security is also involved in this investigation. Live in Bibb County, Lisa Crane, WVTM 13.
Now think about this. If you saw them people out on the street, the majority of them, you would just think, oh, they're just normal people. They're just, hey, in the store. I'd probably just walk by them and smile, just like I do everybody. And you're right, they don't deserve a trial. They don't deserve a plea deal either, you know, and you never know who people like this are and what they got going on at home. You know, this is a mess. And people like Pretty Boy gonna sit up there and say, if this was my child, I would want these folks right here doing bullshit. Get a grip. No. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This is what's going on in Alabama, Bibb County, Alabama, for over 2 years, to these blessed little children who is innocent. And it could be going next door to you. It could be going in a bunker. It could be going where you see lots of traffic. It could be going where you think just drugs, where it's something more serious. If you see something, say something. Like this sheriff, these are the good cops. There's good cops, there's bad cops, there's good everywhere and bad everywhere. And if like he said, they don't mind telling you, no, there's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong with making a call and being wrong. It's the nefarious bullshit that you make the calls on. Okay? But something like this, if you see something, say something. Because you might save an innocent child, or 10, or 2, or 3. Y'all enjoy your evening. I can't no more. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the short notice, okay? Bye.